He's presenting me on stage today.
Just now.
Best intro ever.
Our next guest, she's probably one of the most inspiration on the internet right now, with amazing personality, authenticity, and integrity. She has more than 90,000 followers on the internet. But let me tell you people, for us, she's one of a kind. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Miss Nalie Augustin.
Holy fire, holy water, holy money, only money, only money, only money. We are woody fire, woody thunder, only money, only money, only money.
All right. Hello, Montreal. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Nalie, and I am living and thriving with stage 4 breast cancer. I see a lot of you in the audience are looking at me like, in shock, like, what? How's that even possible? You look so healthy and happy, you're so full of energy and life. Truth is, there are a lot of misconceptions and perceptions when it comes to the word cancer. There's a lot of power given to that word, right? I mean, it's a scary word, and don't get me wrong, it's been quite the challenging 5 years. That was so not part of my 5-year plan. Since I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2013 at only 24 years old, I decided that I was going to share my entire journey online. So through my blog, nalie.ca, on social media, from the diagnosis to my years being in remission, to unfortunately a reoccurrence just last year in January 2017 when I found out that the cancer came back to both my lungs. But it's okay, I'm still here and I'm still breathing, and I have decided to continue to share my story with you, to spread inspiration, aspiration, and awareness. Awareness not just about the disease itself and how one can actually live really well beyond it, but especially about self-awareness, yeah? About going inside and understanding that we are the ones who decide what we give power to. You can decide in life to focus on the beauty, or you can focus on the bullshit, right? You decide. And while, despite the words cancer and stage 4, incurable, apparently terminal, all these scary words that I've heard that tried to take away my power, I decided that that's not going to be my story. Instead, it's the decisions that I make every day, how I choose to live my life, that's what's going to tell my story. And in doing so, I've had the opportunity to inspire thousands of lives worldwide to not just survive, but thrive through adversity. Whether it is my YouTube channel, The Nalie Show, or sharing my life experiences with photos and captions, social media has been my vehicle to spread my message. And that is to seek beauty and positivity in absolutely everything. But is it just me, or there's been a lot of negative talk about social media lately? Elon Musk, he was on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast recently. I'm sure you guys heard it. And they were bashing Instagram, saying how social media has a negative impact on people's mental health. Then, of course, you have Forbes, who wrote an article about how social media is addictive. It can trigger sadness, jealousy, comparison. It is the thief of happiness. Then we read about cyberbullying, internet trolls, And then, of course, the dangers of instant gratification. Social media is indeed very powerful. But with anything in life, with great power, comes great responsibility. And while we can focus on the dark side of social media, the same way that I could have sunk into the fears about cancer, there is so much beauty behind the bullshit. And I know a lot of you here today are entrepreneurs. I see some business owners. I see some creators, some writers, authors, media personalities, public figures. I see y'all. You're all aspiring leaders, if not already. And I think what gathers us in this room together today is the fact that we have this common interest to make a change in this world. Am I right? And I think another thing we have in common is that we're all on social media. That being said, I want you to be aware that it is your responsibility to use this power wisely. Because the power of social media doesn't lie in the app or the technology, but how and why you decide to use it. And while the whole world, right, is screaming, danger, disconnect, I want to challenge you, because I'm also a very big advocate of shutting everything off and, taking time to really embrace and live in the moment. But I see you leaders, and I want to challenge you and encourage you to reconnect. To reconnect, but with intention. Use this powerful tool to be the change that you want to see. And how? Well, I saw this on social media, and I really resonated because it's true. What if we stopped using social media to, impress and find followers and be popular? Instead, what if we all used it to make an impact? Make real friends and connections. I'm telling you right now, some of my closest friends that I have today who really get me, I met them on Instagram. And of course, more importantly, is to be authentic. I think that's where the real power lies, the power of authenticity. Think about it. We now have the chance to share our most authentic voices like never before. We have a chance to share our story in our own unique way without approval. We have the freedom of speech, a freedom that Malala and girls like her who are silenced could dream of having. So we could be advocates and we can speak up about what we believe in without being censored or filtered. We can redefine and disrupt messages that the media once controlled. We can build communities of like-minded people who share the same values as I do, making our message even more powerful. We literally hold that power in the palm of our hand. That's privilege. We can share our true selves. And while this may sound a little spiritual, I also wanted to give you this advice as like a blogger and even business advice, because when people ask me, they're like, Nalie, talk to me about like what's worked the most in your career as a blogger. And then I look back and I reflect, and most of the posts that really worked for me were those where I'm being really real, raw, vulnerable, spontaneous, not the ones that are heavily edited and curated. So for example, this is me on a 16-foot billboard for the iPhone 10 campaign. Apple contacted me, and they were like, hi, Nalie, we have this campaign. We want to promote the selfie cam in the portrait mode, and we want it to be all about authenticity and celebrating one's true self. And then they sent me a bunch of screenshots and screen grabs from my social media of like the randomest selfies that I've taken in the past. And I'm like, really? Those are the pictures you saw? But look at the opportunity. Back in the days, we had to be an actress, a model, and these billboards had to be heavily edited. But no, I got to be 100% authentically me and be celebrated for doing so. And then, of course, out of all the videos I made, This is the one that goes viral. Who here has saw that? Basically, yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Thank you, guys. I've made high quality videos in the past, okay? Like, I have a cameraman, I have spotlights, a mic, a makeup artist, a stylist. I'm wearing this really cute outfit. And this is the video that worked the most, where I am dancing before going to chemotherapy. And I'm dancing to Unforgettable, which is still one of my favorite songs today. Oh my God, can't even watch this. I'm clearly very bald, porta-calf hanging out. I'm wearing jogging pants, for goodness sake. And then, of course, French Montana saw the video. French Montana is the artist of the song. He reposted it, and so a lot of other people like Nicky Jam, World Star reposted it. The video goes viral, and then French Montana ends up inviting me to New York City the next week to do a bunch of PR and media interviews with him. While this is really cool, having a billboard for Apple and the iPhone 10 and meeting French Montana in New York City, every blogger's dream, right? I think the most rewarding thing of all was being able to reach out to millions of more people now whom I could share my story with and help them get through their adversity. So this is a girl who saw the video, and she's in the hospital, and she tried copying my dance. She's so cute. I feel like, of course, there's a bunch of social media strategies that you could use, from hashtags and SEOs and ads and all that, but really, your greatest tool and strategy is to keep it real. Please. Let's keep it 100. Let's just be ourselves. I feel like these days we forget that the words followers, likes, subscribers, views, these are real people. Real people behind the screens double tapping. Real people that you can have a true impact on. Imagine that. We forget that. You have the power to change your experience by deciding what you give power to. So are you going to be someone who, spreads fear over hope? Do you want to participate in all the noise that's out there and be part of the vicious circle instead of create a virtuous one? You should use this platform. Use it to share your gifts. Speak up about what you believe in, because if a girl like Malala, whom you're going to hear speak later, if she could blog at 11 years old and it's enough to attract the Taliban to shoot her, and she survives and she still publicly shares her story, helping thousands of girls have a right to an education. And if I, Nalie from Montreal, who has stage 4 cancer, can be dancing around her living room and it's enough to get somebody out of bed in the morning, just imagine what you can do. I know you have a story. Everyone has a story. Share it. It's not just your power, it's your responsibility. Because someone out there needs you. The real you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you guys.
Great. Bravo.
Thank you. Merci.
Congratulations, Nalie. She's an inspiration.